Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Burning Wheel. I'm your host, Daniel, and with me today are AJ, Chris, and Rasmus. Hi guys, welcome back.
No.
Yeah.
Hello.
So, let's talk Burning Wheel. So last time we played, things happened, and this time when we play, more things will likely happen. Let's talk about what happened last time first, though. What did you do last time?
Castrated a cow.
I choked the chicken.
Ew. We discussed
It was squawking and everything.
the future of how our operations within the city are going to go from here on in, because there was a definite change in policy.
That is true. That
Oh
happened.
yeah, I planned to kill Evelyn.
That too.
Yeah, one of you plans to kill her, one of you plans to fuck her.
Hey!
No reason the two
at
can't
least
happen
I have my
simultaneously.
priorities straight. I want to fuck her before he kills her.
Yeah. So I was about to say to Jihaoji's player, we don't endorse necrophilia.
I mean, if you wanted to fuck her after he'd killed her, that would be a good way to, like, open yourself up for a new trade.
No, thank you.
Okay. Well, so yeah, last time you engaged in conversation with a conversation spiraled out of control with Nicholas' second in command, Evelyn. And
She was being a bitch.
I guess, but she's really been that way like since we introduced her in session 1. However, that conversation ended with, I feel like it ended with Evelyn like doing a minor power grasp within your organization and essentially drawing attention to the fact that she should be treated as like an equal partner, not a subordinate, especially like now that you're going on the warpath, with like the surrounding elements in your criminal environment. So that happened. Then it was the twins found out that there was a new movement, a religious movement in the city that has claimed responsibility for all of Shihao's antics and like his magic and destruction and terrifying of people.
You're forgetting
true.
that he ran away like an angry child.
I'm sorry, like an angry falcon.
First, you ran away, and then you just stood there, scaring the shit out of the Striders. Then we flew off.
No, I didn't run away. I stormed out in disbelief over her stupidity. There's a difference.
Yeah,
That also happened.
you were a hesitating child. The only thing you didn't do was yell and scream and kick.
And then I think we ended on
Oops.
Nicholas preparing to prepping for journeying along his supply chain and getting into contact with those with the Elven destabilization unit that is actually providing you with the fairy dust.
That's correct.
And when we like the shot we left on was you Nikki calling the others to a meeting. And I feel like, if I remember correctly, people wanted to do stuff before the day turned and we went to next morning. So I think we'll just fade back in on that shot like of you guys at the meeting. But before we do that, I feel like we should talk about the characters. So unless someone has something they want to bring up that happened last time, and we should draw attention to before we get into the characters.
Fine, start from the bottom this time.
All right, let's start from the bottom then.
No,
So, Shihao.
that's me. Don't start with me.
We're gonna start with you this time, because AJ has started us out every session, and it's only fair, I think, that she gets to call it this once that we start with you. So, tell us about your beliefs, instincts, and traits.
Aw, you didn't say bits. I had a bit planned if you said bits.
Okay. Tell us about your bits.
Well, I haven't talked to AJ about it, but I'm imagining something with a slight curve.
Wonderful. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't subscribed yet, do so for more of this. Here on Charismatoac, bringing you the A-grade material of the comedic spectrum.
If yours swings left, mine can swing right.
I was actually imagining slightly upwards.
This is ground control to Major Tom. Sorry, yeah, so let's talk about your beliefs, instincts, and traits then. Go on, Rasmus.
I think they're pretty great. I spent some more time doing them last time, so they're a bit more elaborate than they were before.
Yeah,
That's
let's hear
pretty
it.
good. I'm talking about them.
I know. Just read them aloud to us, will you?
Oh, that's not what you instructed
You
me to do.
infuriating dirtbag.
I'm sorry, but you asked earlier that we have more energy for these sessions, and I happen to have a lot of energy today.
That's perfectly alright. I look forward to seeing that. Just let's start it out with you actually informing us what your character believes and what he has for instincts and what he has for traits.
He's just very into character. Very unhelpful.
It is my right to become a powerful sorcerer, unlike anything the world has ever seen. Fame is one form of power, therefore I will establish a cult around my person in order to grant myself the first stepping stone into national fame. I will spread panic in this city and among the citizens, and everyone shall know and fear my name.
Joy.
Oh, that's really in character, that belief. It's really long-winded.
Yep, absolutely. But yeah, so yeah, we touched on this last time, right? Someone is presenting an obstacle on this course by detracting your action, like detracting from your actions your name, and instead absorbing them for themselves.
That's true. Also, Chris?
Yeah.
Is it long-winded or winded?
Long-winded.
Both.
Long-winded. Cool.
So
In that
your
case, it's
second
not
belief-
long-winded, it's long-winded. While my magical might is enough to destroy any mortal foe, I might find myself in need of more mundane fighting skills. To that end, I will better my skills with the spear, and I guess I won't be convincing Evelyn to do regular sparring with me.
Oh,
No, but you could ask your brother to pummel you a couple of times.
have you changed your opinion about that?
What was my opinion last time? I don't remember.
You wanted
so-
to make him help you.
After last session, because by then it was pretty clear that she didn't want to.
Yeah, I mean, so you asked Evelyn, right? If you tried to convince her to train you, and she shot you down, and made like a counter move. But that does not necessarily mean that you can't convince her. It just means that by the let it ride rules, you have to change something significant so that you will be able to convince her again. Right? You could still aim for having her do it. It would just be a matter of you being crafty. Or you could change it to someone else.
I think. See, I kind of want to make her do it, only so I have a pretense for actually accidentally killing her.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I might change it up.
Okay.
Da-da-ba-da.
What do you want to change it to then? If not Evelyn, then are you going to change the subject of the belief, or are you going to change the person you call out in the belief?
Going to kill me, isn't he?
I'm going to destroy Nicholas for no readily apparent reason.
I couldn't get the fucking lady, so I'm murdering her man because he's weak.
Nice!
Evelyn can potentially kill me, I'll murder her man.
Charming.
Nicholas will remember that.
Well, strictly speaking, it is true. She has a little more skill than he does.
It's true.
Alright,
Nicholas is
alright.
a talker, not a fighter.
Listen to this.
Yeah.
While my magical might is enough to destroy any mortal foe, I cannot be everywhere at all times. I will attempt to convince the rest of Nicholas' men to spar with me and Minomir to further our fighting progress. Further.
Further.
Fucking further.
Yeah.
Feta!
So you're downscaling from getting Evelyn to it to, okay, if I can't convince her, then maybe I can convince the others to do it. Yeah, that works.
And I mean, if all the men and us get to be, good fighters, maybe her niche is not so much needed anymore.
Yeah,
That's
I
just
dig it. I'm a
harsh.
big fan.
Also, Danny, answer the whisper.
Let me have a look
No.
at the whisper then. Let's see. Well, no, not really. That depends on what
Oh, he's
skill.
too easy. Aw,
Not even a routine test. Um,
fuck.
no. Okay, so let's move on to this, the third belief.
The knowledge of old holds power untold. I wish to find and learn new spells, and Mr. Clark has resources beyond what I do. And we've made a deal that he will help me find magical knowledge. Oh, that's a long sentence. I will make sure he keeps up his end of the deal, and using his help, I'll find the knowledge hidden in Manning Bridge.
Cool.
I like to totally serious and then la 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 la.
I mean, it's all theater.
Doors.
All right, so let's talk about your instincts.
Instinct 1. If weird shit happens, check if dreaming. Pinch self, look at hands, try to read stuff. Instinct 2. Respond to threats with intimidation.
Mhm.
Instinct 3. Ask Minomia for advice when you need it.
Cool. And your traits.
Yeah, I reinforced that last time. Good boy.
Yeah, you did. And
You
traits,
still haven't got me in trouble. I'm sorry.
he knows how to bow and shit. He's spooky and stuffs. He's obsessed with ancient magics. He likes cock. He has a 1D affiliation with nobility. Hubel must make steel tests when they get near him, and he has magic.
Alrighty. Cool. So that's
Those were my descriptions of the traits I have.
Absolutely.
Your
For
relation.
relationships, I have an old man in my pocket and some doctor I don't really care about. Doesn't like me.
Very good.
You have an old man in your pocket.
Well, he's more like a pet, but
Pocket
He's a
teacher.
fucking noisy pet.
Right.
Yep.
Next up is Nicholas.
Yes.
Tell us about your beliefs, instincts, and traits, sir.
I'd rather not.
Well, that's a shame because I'm gonna make you.
How? I'm in another country.
Yes. Now you can either accommodate me or I can show you how I'm going to make you do it.
Fine. My beliefs are the first one I've quickly come up with since I needed to change it from last time. The time has come for my gang and I to go on the offensive. I will train to use my knife properly when fighting by sparring with Minhamir.
Oh shit.
All right. So I have something I want to bring up with this, and that is, this is I have a hard time seeing how I can
Perfect.
challenge this belief. Right.
Okay.
Well, you can't. Minnow can.
You can, yeah. Minnow can challenge this belief, but I have a hard time seeing how I'm supposed to how I'm supposed to prevent this from just happening.
Okay. Well, to be honest, I wasn't quite sure where to go with the first part of the belief from what to then attach on the end as being the actionable part. So I'm open to suggestions for changes.
All right. So the first part of it is pretty clear, right? It's a good belief. So it's about you and your gang going on the offensive. What does that entail to you? Like what do you attach? Like what meaning do you attach to going to on the offensive for your little smuggling crew? Are you gonna go out there and take corners? Right now, what are you doing?
What do you mean take corners?
Like kicking drug dealers off corners and taking them for yourself.
Yeah, that could be a good that could be a good one to start with.
Okay, cool. So
Then how do
maybe the belief is about like you are going to either secure or like you're gonna get control of like places where like there's a lot of drug trafficking. Or it could be like that you have a belief about canceling your agreements with whoever has been dealing your stuff before this, right? You had some kind of arrangement where you smuggled the drugs in and then handed them over to people who sold them. Now if you want to deal, you have to cut that part of the deal off. So maybe you can write a belief about like doing that.
Okay.
Unless, of course, you just want to. If you want to be formal, if Nikki would want to be formal about it and like formally stop the deal, then you could make the belief about that. But if Nikki would be like, no, I'm just not gonna provide them with anything and just do this instead, then it's not belief worthy because you can just do that.
Right. Okay. In that case, it's probably going to have to be a formal cancellation of the agreements with the various dealers.
Yeah. So you're gonna be like, you're gonna go the diplomatic route here instead of just like surprise, motherfuckers! No, we're not dealing anymore. Also, I'm taking your corners.
We could just kill them.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on what's Nikki's belief, right?
I will eliminate the other I will eliminate the dealers. Dealers.
Gonna take over their turf.
The city by taking their turf and do I want to say killing them? Do I want to kill them?
I don't know. Do you want to kill them? Do you want to assimilate them? What do you want? What does Nikki want?
Either or.
All right, then make a belief about that. Like, I will recruit them into my organization. Failing that,
either recruit them or kill them. To my gang, or
my way or the highway. In this case, my way or a ditch.
That will also play nicely into his instincts.
Okay, I will eliminate the FD dealers in the city by taking their turf and either recruiting them to my gang or killing them. Does that work?
That works perfectly.
And I just noted it plays perfect into his instinct.
Yes, as you noted, that's very good. That's belief 1. Thank you for helping me with that. I struggle with these, I must admit.
That's fine.
Belief 2. Xihao needs to stop drawing attention to me and my people. I'm probably going to change the fluff part of that sentence, but I'm going to keep the second part, which is I will find evidence of a magical relic or supplies for him to find to appease him.
All right. What do you figure? What do you figure you want to change about the motivation?
Well, if we're not that worried about drawing attention to ourselves anymore, then it's not really
appease him.
Right. So
yeah.
Well, why then are you motivated to do this? Is it like you want to like make him trust you, or do you want to prove to you don't want it said that you're not a man of your word, right? What is your motivation for doing this?
That would be my main motivation. Is that it was a formal agreement that I intend to honor.
Cool. Then you can put that in there as your motivation.
My formal agreement.
That is actually honor amongst thieves.
Xihao.
Third.
Regarding his use of magic stands, and I shall honor it. I will find evidence of magic relic or supplies for him to find to appease him.
Cool.
And belief 3, the money that I have earned from Leyland cloth theft will further my goals with fairy dust. I will need to use it to negotiate with my suppliers for the recipe.
Wonderful.
Instincts. Never offer mercy to an enemy. Everyone's out to get me, so trust no one. And always carry a sharp knife.
Good.
Character traits. You've got paranoid, odd, nihilistic, and callous. And the die trait in the form of Louis Woo may laugh in the face of danger.
Awesome. Got any relationships worth talking about?
I have a relationship with Evelyn Scrip, romantic second in command to the organisation. Although, as we mentioned earlier, it's now sort of more equal footing, so the position has changed somewhat, but not enough to merit a full change, I think. I have an enemy circle with an enemy in the form of Dr. Kuroba, enemy we made during play several sessions ago.
Very nice.
And I have a toolkit for forgery.
Wonderful. Last but not least, let's talk about Minnow.
Hello! Minnow with
You?
a very, very light voice for a man his size. Apparently.
Apparently so.
Who kicked him in the nuts? Anyway, first belief, this sassy and sexy lady I met some years ago are in town. I should seek her out for another round.
Yeah.
And belief 2, I need to secure a position and prove invaluable to Nikki. Stealing the cloth of shipment was exciting and a rush. And finding the next big score to sell would give us a huge edge. I should go around town. And I need to scroll down, I see. I for once made a big one.
You can
And
expand them
find a
as well.
suitable target. I'll of course do what I do best and go through the rich ladies. I have a tendency to want adventure and talk a lot.
Yeah. So you wanna seek out a new score, and you've decreed a direction you want to do that in.
Yep.
Cool.
And the last one. I need to find out what happened to the product, so I need an alchemical kit. I need to eat, and Nico needs money to give me that.
Wonderful.
Instincts. If I see Shiho getting into trouble, drop what I'm doing and go to his side. And if I see someone attractive, flirt. If surprised, draw a weapon. And he knows how to be humble, he's spooky, he's gifted. He knows how to talk with knobs, apparently. Obscure aura, and cool-headed.
Wonderful.
He has a relationship with Harriet Joy, and he has an enemy circle in Dr. Benjamin Koska,
That is true.
with an aptitude of 6.
Indeed. All right. So
Sure.
we know where you're at. Now, as we established earlier, when we fade back in on this campaign of Burning Wheel, we fade in on you guys standing around a table on the main floor of Nicholas's headquarters building, and you've just been called there, most of you, for Nikki to have a talk with you. So showing up, I think, are like the two people on guard. You folks. I don't know if Evelyn's there. Chris, you can decide if Evelyn's there.
He's be right back.
All right. Well, in that case,
I am back.
welcome back.
He is back! I said he was be right back, and I was right.
Absolutely, you were. So as we fade back in on you guys having a meeting, who do we see there at that meeting, Chris?
Everyone, really.
So what is that? Is that to say like all the 6 operatives you got in Manningbridge, or just the 2 on guard?
I want to say all 6.
All right, I'm okay with that. So yeah, so we instead of maybe like what we we saw last time, like people joining around the table when we fade in this time, like we see like there's actually quite a group of people standing around like this rectangular table in center room, and I think everyone is looking expectantly at Nicholas. After a brief moment of cold sweat, as people have tried to get into the presence of Shihao.
Xiao
I
specifically
imagine-
looks sullen.
I have a feeling that every time he needs a meeting like that, it takes at least 10 minutes because people refuses to come in without running screaming out again.
Yeah, I feel like it's slowly. You've been working with these people for about a month, and I feel like the typical reaction has changed from one of like shocked running away screaming to now standing and drooling, or AKA like standing in cold sweat and terror, and just like just working through it. Like okay, just breathe in, breathe out. You're okay, man. That guy's horrifying, and then just like kind of trying to deal with it.
Oh, poor people.
So yeah, we join you on the shot of you
I'm,
guys standing around the table.
I'm guessing today's worse. I mean, worse if only because As I said, Xiao looks sullen, or at least he looks kind of like he doesn't want to be there. He hates everyone. He wants to kill them all.
You're in a mood.
And it's still the same day, so he's really in a mood.
Yeah.
He was just manhandled by his brother when he tried to murder the insolent people talking about him. Like someone else did it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Right. So I guess all eyes on Nicholas for this purpose.
God, I hate being the center of attention.
Why are you the boss then? Come on.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think it through. I should have played a minor character of some kind.
We live and we learn.
Yeah, we do. Yep, Nikki's got everyone together, and basically the rest of the gang will have a vague idea of what this is about, because this has happened once or twice before. But to the new two newcomers, well, relative newcomers, this will probably be fairly new. Okay, all right. It's that time again. We need to head out northwards to our contacts. Pick up the next shipment of the product. Now, usually I'd be picking out a few of you to join me, leaving Evelyn in charge of the rest of you to look after the city. Well, now we have a different set of circumstances, don't we? We've got two new, fine, upstanding young gentlemen here. He looks to Xiao Minamir, who I would like to accompany me on my trip northwards. And then Evelyn will look after all of the rest of you here. Because, well, she and I have come to an agreement that we need to be more aggressive in our spreading this product around. Take charge of it for ourselves. Make something of ourselves with it.
There's an exchange of looks when you say that, but you get no clear affirmation of how's the room feeling.
Right.
Go on.
So with that in mind, since I'll be heading off tomorrow, I'm leaving Evelyn in charge. She will be directing the rest of you to the purpose of putting out feelers and starting to make waves among the local area. Getting dealers that we've previously worked with to become a part of the gang and work for us. Ensure that the money they earn comes directly to us as well. And if they can't be swayed, then we end them. Get them out of the equation. As soon as the local area is clear, by which time, of course, we'll be well back and have a new shipment ready to distribute, we'll start pushing out further and further from there.
Yeah, so I think Evelyn is making an approving kind of sound somewhere in her chest. She's cleaning her nails with a long bladed dagger. One of your guys, one of your guys who's all of you guys are pretty hardcore, right? They know they're risking their lives in this life of crime, and but they're not violent men. They're smugglers. So one of your guys is has done jail time. What's his name?
His name is. Good question. What?
Smuggler number 1.
No, that's not his name. He was not christened this. Although it wouldn't be christening in this world, of course.
Is his name Christian?
His name is not Christian. I refuse to be that ironic.
I assume the name Christian wouldn't really exist.
His name is
It
Ziggy.
will, just because it's convenient.
Since you made a reference to David Bowie earlier, his name shall be Ziggy.
Cool. So, Siggy raises his voice and says, well, I guess if that's what needs to be done, then I guess that's what needs to be done. But are we going to recall some of the other boys to do this? Or is it just going to be us?
We are going to be recalling a few of them. For this first push, we'll need as many as we can get. If and when we start pulling in the independent dealers and making them part of the gang, then we can start spreading our guys back out again, making sure all bases are covered. But until then, we need to push off with all our strength.
All right. Will you be sending them back when you head north? Or do we need to get a runner out?
I'll inform them on the way out that they need to head down here and start helping you guys out.
All right. And I think he just he retreats back into his I'm just observing and listening stance.
Mm-hmm. Now, as I said, I'll be out of the picture along with these two here. The two, is it Stormlanders? Is that right?
Yeah, if you want to be formal about it, then they're Stormlanders. Regular jargon is they're Outlanders.
All right.
They insist on being called Stormlanders.
Not that we have told them.
Mm-hmm. Now, I think Nikki would have picked up the formality enough to, and no, not to annoy you two enough to say Stormlanders. Myself and the two
when they talk among themselves, they call the tribe Stormlanders and the home the Stormlands.
Yeah, when
Yes.
everyone else talk, they're Outlanders, right? Because Outlander is the root term.
Yes. Myself and the two Stormlanders will be setting off tomorrow morning. You know the usual length of time we'll be gone for. Maybe a bit longer, maybe a bit less long. Depends on how fast we can move with what we have.
Cool.
Any other questions?
Striders and it'll go faster.
Mm-hmm. Bring the Strider.
The Striders. They're
Yeah.
stronger and doesn't need as many brakes as a horse does.
Mm-hmm. Well, the assumption was that we'd be. Nikki assumed we'd be bringing them anyway. It would be quite useful.
Didn't have them before. How would Minnow know?
Right, so you're a network, Nikki. I remember you talking about some tunnels, smuggling tunnels.
Yes, those were mentioned long in the past.
Yeah, I feel like Striders don't do well underground because they're
If
mountain.
there's room
they're
enough
mountain
for them to
animals.
walk, then they would.
They're swamp animals, but yeah.
Yeah.
Depends where these tunnels are. If it's a case of that we
If they're too small for them to walk through because of their horns, they would have a problem. Shut up, cat.
Now I'm thinking that if we go overland until we get to the tunnels, and then if the tunnel depends how extensive the tunnels are, but then we can easily leave one of the brothers there with them to look after them, and the other two go and get the stuff and then bring it back up to the surface.
I guess what I'm asking you to establish definitively in the fiction if it's going to be a problem to bring the Striders or not.
My idea is that they're very stubborn creatures, but they're also very brave. So it takes a lot for them to... Ow! God damn it, cat. To freak out.
Yeah, no, I think
So it
these,
would be fine underground. The only issue would be if it's too narrow, so their horns can't be there.
Okay.
And that would be the only issue.
I'm thinking about it. No, I think considering the amount of stuff that may need to get moved at any one time, there'll be enough room. There won't be an issue with moving them.
Cool.
If they do get stubborn, it won't be because they're afraid. It's because they're cantankerous
Not handled
creatures.
right.
Yes. So it'll be a case of I try and do something with that. Nikki tries to move them, and they end up kicking him upside the head or something.
All right.
You're
If
trying to move them, it won't budge. He tries to kick, it kicks back. Something like that.
But yeah, otherwise I don't anticipate it being that much of an issue.
Wonderful.
So
you bring up
Nikki-
this point.
yes, and then Nikki looks around the room to the others, and then just says, "Any questions?"
All of your guys shake their heads. Evelyn's not saying anything. She's got a cocky smile on her face.
Mm-hmm.
When do we leave?
Dawn tomorrow.
Alright.
All right then. Everyone knows what they're doing. You've got the rest of you've got the evening and the night to get anything else you need done out and out of the way. Crackle,
What
crackle,
is that?
crackle.
What is that sound?
I think it's Gigi gurgling on the microphone.
Ah, I see.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It sounded like someone had strapped like a microphone to a snow boot and was hiking up a hill.
What?
It sounded like snow crunching.
I mean, I cracked a finger
Okay.
like that, but that's about it.
I have no idea what it
Also-
was then.
All right. Well, so so Nikki declares that it's tomorrow at dawn. Any comments from the twins?
Nope. But Minnow does look like he's about to leave.
All right. I take that as nothing then. So like the meeting is adjourned, I guess.
Yes, everyone get a good night's sleep.
No, Minnow leaves through the front door.
Or not.
So yeah.
I think Xiao follows him.
All right. So we see you guys outside on the street.
You see Minnow leaves through the front door. Shihao comes back, follows him out. Then the door opens. Shihao is pushed in. No, not for children. And then it's shut and he leaves.
So
And Xiao just stands there like, I could be going somewhere else, you douche.
so so we joined you guys like in the light of a slowly setting sun, I guess. Let's actually raise the question first if Shihao was going somewhere.
Well, he is now.
Okay, where are you going? You're gonna follow your brother?
You know what? Yes, I am. I'm going to sneak after him.
Wonderful. Are you actually like tell me about talk to me about how you're doing this. Are you being stealthy or are you being inconspicuous?
Well, seeing as I've unlocked one of those and not the other, I think I'll use the one my difficulty. So I'm being inconspicuous.
Cool.
Which is also why I'm not turning into a bird, because...
Makes
Oh, look! It's just a regular falcon,
Yeah,
as we have many of in this city. Or
this
not.
town of falcons. All right, so you want to follow your brother, presumably without being noticed. Do you want to oppose that, AJ? I should call him
will be
Minnow.
going inconspicuously too. But he will also keep an eye out if people is following him.
What?
Because being out alone is kind of stupid when they have 1,200 men wanting them dead.
Cool. So this is a versus test. You contest Shihao's inconspicuous with observation.
Okay, and I have that skill.
No! So I just roll?
Yeah, just roll. Just compare results. The one who rolls the higher gets what they want.
Can I get a modifier for it being darkening outside?
You are like arguing that you're like using bad lighting to kind of obscure your movement.
I know that would be stealth, but I see no reason why I can't be inconspicuous and also keep to the shadows.
I mean, yeah, I would say you can. So, do you have an applicable fork for this?
I would like to fork reading.
Mhm.
No, I don't.
All
I
right.
would like.
I mean,
to-
if I had Manning Bridge Wise, I would be able to, but I still haven't practiced that yet.
All right. So in that case, like you're trying to do this thing. I guess I would allow you to do so. But I would allow you to do so on on one condition. So
Yeah.
you can still attempt to like use stealth to kind of like be like I'm being very inconspicuous, but I'm also like keeping out of sight in a sense. You could do that as a link test if you want to. Of course, since you don't have stealth, that will be like untrained, but you can still do it.
Would that
Would you want to?
raise my base obstacle?
No, you would. So here's how it's gonna work. If you succeed on that test, if you just hit the obstacle on a link test, you get nothing. You just make like you are being stealthy, I guess. But if you go over your obstacle, then you get +1 bonus to your test. If you go over the obstacle, under the obstacle, if you fail, then the obstacle of the test you're linking into, in this case you're inconspicuous, goes up by 1.
So I roll stealth first.
Yeah, so that's how you would do it. You would roll
Okay.
stealth, and if you succeed at that, then you would get a bonus. If you fail, then you would get penalized.
Sure, that sounds fun. What do I need to roll then, since I haven't unlocked stealth?
AJ, I see you rolling 1d6 there. Are you doing something with fate?
Yeah.
Okay, I want you to make sure you wait it out and address that out loud. So, but yeah, add a fate to your observation. All right, so here's we know what your intent is for using stealth as a link test. The complication if you fail your stealth test is not that Minnow spots you, because that's the consequence of failing the inconspicuous test. The consequence of failing the stealth test is that someone else who has a bone to pick with you spots you, like local law enforcement who are looking for someone like you notices you and starts following you.
Sure, makes sense.
Cool.
Fail it big time, I want to see this!
Alright, so the obstacle for that is, it would normally be a versus test, but in this case it's not, because this is linking into a versus test. So let's just find stealthy and see if we got some obstacles we can go by.
Don't make me up.
There we are. Okay, so it's stealthy is versus observation. Give advantage to the stealthy for lighting conditions and weather and blah blah blah. Okay. In that case, we are actually gonna roll this as no, we're not. We have to set an obstacle. Okay, so I'm going to go out on a limb and say you're rolling against obstacle. You're gonna roll against obstacle 2.
Mm-hmm.
So give me and you don't have a stealthy trained, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I don't.
so make me a speed test versus obstacle 4.
I was hoping it would be agility.
It's not.
I could hear that from your voice, yeah, I'm good with agility. Speed? Sorry.
Well, let's see me fail this then. Oh, I forgot to... Wait, that's all there. 4.
Nope.
There we are. There's a.
I would like to use a fate.
Cool. Let's see it.
Uh,
Actually, before you roll it, wait, don't push it in yet. So when you type it in, type roll 1d6 ! And then roll that.
What?
Okay. 1d6 ! 5.
Okay, cool. So
What? That...
the exclamation marks that explodes the 6s. So if you'd rolled a 6, it would have rolled again.
Oh, okay.
It's a little bit of roll 20 foo here. All right, so you get another success. Unfortunately, it's not a 6, so you get 3 successes on your speed test, and you don't hit the obstacle. So
do I mark a fate for speed?
You do,
I have a lot of those now.
and you also, in this case, you're trying to hit up 4 with a speed of 3. So yeah, that's actually the obstacle was it was up 2 before we doubled it. So let me just quickly get my difficulty sheet out so I can tell you
Sure.
if what kind of test you're earning here. All right, so you're working against an obstacle of 2 with a stat of 3. So this can be routine or difficult. All right, so would you rather have? Actually, I'm lying to you, aren't I? Yeah, it is. It's routine. Okay, so so you mark a being learned towards stealthy,
Mm-hmm.
and stealthy is rooted in speed, as we just established. So you can add that on your character sheet.
Is it called stealthy with the Y?
Let's find out. Yes, it is.
Alright.
So start learning stealthy, and give me an inconspicuous test. You're rolling versus. So Minnow got 2 successes on his observation. So on your inconspicuous, you're rolling against an obstacle of. You're rolling against an obstacle of 4.
4.
Yeah, because you're actually rolling against 3, but if you only get 3 successes, then Minnow wins because Minnow is the defender, and defenders win on versus tests.
Why 3?
Because your observation is increased by 1. Your observation, the obstacle for succeeding on your inconspicuous test goes up by 1 because you failed the link test.
Okay.
You did
So
say
no
that
modifiers,
you could
just
either
a high
get one
obstacle.
or lose one.
So what?
So base obstacles 4.
Yeah.
Eesh.
Ugh. Yeah.
No.
No. Well, so in this case, mark a challenging inconspicuous test.
Do I get a routine?
For your inconspicuous for your observation, you mean?
Yeah, it says it's a routine.
Yeah, it would be. So mark a routine observations test. All right. So, here's like how we see this. So, you're moving through the streets, AJ. You're like moving in a certain direction. You probably have. Do you have any idea of where these people live? Or are you here to find out?
Pretty sure we were told.
Were you?
I'm pretty sure she told us that where they lived.
I'm pretty sure that never came up.
It didn't.
So you will want to.
Ask around.
Yeah, you're gonna want to look around for the Joy family. And as you do so, and before we like see you trying to resolve that, you notice your brother is following you.
And someone noticed my brother following me. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's like we see you like noticing him and maybe like moving along a bit. But what we then like the camera like slowly pans away like as you are moving into the background, and we also see like unbeknownst to the both of you that there are city watchmen like walking in the crowd too, like, zoning in on Shihao slowly.
So how far
Sure.
away is Shiji?
I don't know. Like you tell me. How close is he when you decide to, depending on what you decide to do?
When I see him.
Yeah, like you tell me.
How the hell would I know? I don't know how Shihao is trying to be inconspicuous.
All right, then have Rasmus tell you.
Is it because he's
Um,
trying to hide under a lit lamp or something?
No, that would be a stupid stealth mistake, I think. I think
Just that
he's
People harder.
he follows at a pretty far distance, but every time you round a corner, so he loses sight of you, he makes sure to catch up quickly and then wait until you are at a distance and then follow again.
So it's like all the cartoons. Run, 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 run! Look.
Yep.
Oh, he doesn't run because that is like the opposite of being inconspicuous. But
And he's following you, Minnow. What's up with that? What are you gonna do about it?
Well, here's the question, because would Minnow do something about it, or would he try to just lose him in the crowd?
That's a good question. But not trying to lose him is also doing something about it. So it's just you making a call. What are you gonna do?
I think he'll round the corner, and then just stand right on the other side of the corner waiting for him.
Right? So,
Because
yeah.
he realizes that's exactly what he's doing.
So we see that happening, right? We see Shihao like dashing up to like and around a corner. Like there's a couple of people out on the streets, like he's moseying on past them as they're taking down stalls and so on. And as you turn around, there's like this glare of like the setting sun, and then your brother's face like right just in the foreground, just staring at you.
good evening.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm following you.
Why? And why are you being so bad at it?
I imagine I'm bad at it, he says in quotation marks. Because you're quite used to my method of being inconspicuous.
He looks out on the road. The poor people he's been a little too close to, I imagine, are whimpering somewhere.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right,
I would
we've
like to
estab-
note that Shihao knows he has that effect and deliberately tries not to get too close to people most of the time.
That has been my impression too. And we established that early on, that when you're moving, you're not doing the Assassin's Creed thing where you're trying to like perfectly blend in a very tight cluster of 5 people, right? And
You
just
know
scare
that-
everyone in cardinal directions. That's not what's happening. You generally speaking are moving for the purpose of avoiding contact.
Okay. Like
Yes.
so.
And as this is like this time where the sun is setting and so on, and most good decent folk are already either indoors or like back home or just like finishing what they're doing. The streets aren't filled with people, right? There aren't throngs of citizens pushing through. There is enough room that you can kind of like move about. But I would point out that you've noticed as you that there started to become like significantly more people, and it's getting significantly harder to do what you're describing. But yeah, so there.
Well, he just looks back at him. So, why are you following me?
Well, you were being secretive, which usually means you have a very urgent pull in your groin to go somewhere. And, well, the streets aren't particularly safe for people looking like us.
So you came to look?
I came to make sure you didn't get hurt.
Aha. Go home.
No.
You're seriously intending to follow me
Well, where are you going?
to find joy?
Okay. Have you tried a bar?
Very
Minnow
philosophical.
just rolls his eyes. Just keep a distance so you don't scare everyone away, will ya?
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
He shakes his head, starts walking.
Wonderful. All right. So yeah, let's see about you finding this girl. So how are you gonna do that?
He's gonna pee on every street corner and hope she follows the smell back to him.
No, she will not do that because she still has a penis and is named Minnow. And not
No,
actually a
Minnow
she.
would have to pee on every corner, so Joy could follow the smell back to him.
Oh, like that. No, it's easier asking where they live.
No.
In any case, that is what he's intending to do. There's a lot of merchants. All merchants know merchants.
Cool. So you're so this is like you're circling up someone who knows where they're at. So let's see a circles test then.
Fuck. Can't I just go to one of those who is starting to shut down?
Yeah, absolutely. But that's also a circles test
Why?
because that's how the mechanics work, right? You're going to find someone who knows what you want. So we
I'm
make a
going
circles
to
test to
this
see that.
person and ask them where they are.
Yeah, that's what that is. If you've succeeded the circles test, the person you're going to ask will know. If you fail, then he might not know, or he might direct you in a wrong direction.
Well, I can't find my circles tests.
Oh,
What
it's
is
pretty.
it?
It's in your stats.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
Oh, there it is. It was in the burner. Oh, I can't click that.
All right. So what you are going to don't roll it yet. Let's establish first, as we do, what the difficulty is here. So you're looking for someone who has information. Like you're looking for someone who has knowledge. So that's an up 2 test. Are you looking for? Like you're just looking for basically anyone.
I don't really have any gripes with who they are.
Alright, cool. And
Just
we're
put
using the
a-
reputation of this person.
Toilets.
Actually, what am I saying? You have this girl as a relationship, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, of course. Never mind. Fuck the circles test. So we see you like you ask someone on the street like where do these people live, and they just like I know the Joys. Yes, absolutely. The Joys can be found, and then he mentions a street that's like somewhere in Greywater. And like you
Why
get
did it
directions
suddenly
to go
become
there.
so easy?
Yeah, you get directions to go there, easy peasy.
Why did it suddenly become so easy?
Because you have a relationship with her, which generally speaking, unless as part of the fiction they're trying to avoid you, means that it's a circles role you can't really fail. If you want to find them, you just kind of do it. It's the same with Rasmus. If Rasmus wanted to find your dad, then he would just be like, we would establish in the fiction him finding your dad.
Let's do that sometime.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Only if we murder him
That too.
and take his loot.
He starts walking toward the
Yeah.
what was it called?
Somewhere in Greywater. We do like a cut. We have a cut, and then when we cut back to you guys, like you're in front of a townhouse in Greywater.
No, because I want to be inconspicuous.
Yeah, that's fine.
And find out if the man is home or not.
That's fine. We still do that cut. You're in front of the house now.
No,
yes.
at a toll gate.
What?
I'm at a toll gate at Light Point.
Oh, yeah, no, just scroll down.
This is a townhouse. No, this is a toll gate at Light Point.
Somewhere down here.
Grey. Oh, there, Greywater. Okay. So, no, go home.
Yep.
He's looking at Gigi again. I'm here, still alive, go home. Silence.
You're being addressed.
I'll just... sorry, I didn't hear you.
Ah. Well, they're standing there. Minnow looks at you and says, well, we're here now. Go home.
Well, you'll have to leave eventually, I'm sure. You can't crawl up inside of her.
Ew.
I'll wait for you.
Just don't get murdered. If someone attacks you, turn into a bird and fly away, will you?
Either that or I'll show them just how bad a choice that is.
No, because then you'll set the house aflame and I'll burn inside it.
No, you can be her big
bad of
rescuer.
I'm not
I've
gonna
heard
take
they
her
like
out if
that.
it starts burning. I'm just gonna leave.
In my mind, I'm imagining people walking past you who are too absorbed in their own conversation to hear you talking about houses burning down. Just be like, rah, 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 rah. My world is so small.
I actually think talking about things burning down isn't really that unusual at these times, considering the big fire
That's
a few
correct.
days ago.
There were two fires on the ass end of each other a couple of days ago.
Yeah. Things are burning. Weird. Spontaneous combustion. It just happens.
Okay, cool. So I think we take a break here, and when we come back, we'll see about Minnow finding his
Fading
his
to
lady
black.
dearest.
Yes.
So yeah, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.